everybody, and welcome back to Caleb Fixes a Window again. Mostly. At least that's mostly what this one's about. But there's some other really fun stuff too. Got some window locks, went to Kansas City, picked up a really cool thing. So let's get into all those little cool things first. So into the dining room to show you guys the things I have going on. Don't mind the mountain of boxes. Those aren't terribly important. When you're ripping out plaster, you just set a few boxes underneath the area you're working on. Plaster falls in the boxes, throw the box in the dumpster, life's good. So that's why I have so many boxes, just so everybody's aware. But this here is what I'm actually really on about, because I went and picked this all up from a place called Refab here in St. Louis. It's oak and walnut flooring, all 3/4 inch. And essentially what I'm gonna do with it is make the library floor. So this is my little mock-up that I made of what the library floor is going to look like. Essentially, that's a mock-up of what the original floor here in the dining room looks like. So as you can see, it has this line in it. It goes all the way around. And that's exactly how we're going to do it upstairs, including these little marks over by the fireplace up there. I'm gonna figure out the angle on this and cut this exactly the same way. So that should be really rad. So that's what this flooring is for. So as you can see, here's the walnut. Why somebody would rip out walnut out of their house, I don't know. All of this lumber is reclaimed. These are all reclaimed floors. You can see I got a few different colors in here, but it doesn't matter. It's the same oak. Somebody just stained it a different color. I have to sand this all flat anyways, because that old stain is not what I'm looking at for. So that's that. In other news, I got hit up by a really nice lady in Kansas City who had a buffet, an antique buffet, that she wanted to just give me. So check this out. So this will be like the second item I've brought into the house, and it is awesome. Really big. Takes up a lot of space here, but it is really beautiful. And Julian, if you're watching, like, thank you so very much. She also has a YouTube channel, so I'm going to link to that in the description. If you guys want to go check her out, she's super nice. So me and my father went and did a road trip and grabbed this beauty here. And yeah, I'm amazed that people wanted to reach out to me and just give me things like this. Like, who does that? But it's really pretty. Let's get up on some of the details here, yeah? So you can see all the old carvings and stuff, and yeah, it's gonna look awesome. Or well, I mean, it does look awesome. I think eventually it'll go over here to this side where the mountain of boxes are. But yeah, it's gonna look awesome there. And like usual, guys, we have to have a Kim for scale. So here's a Kim for scale. Yeah, it's a really big, beautiful piece of furniture. Show it off, Vanna White it. Ooh, ah.
What, it's got velvet here.
So you can put all your nice fancy plates in there.
Without damaging them.
Yeah, it's a really nice piece. Which means we have to get a lot of plates, because not only do we have this display piece, we also have this one that came with the house. This is actually a built-in china cabinet. And it actually has lights in there that light up, but like I've told you guys a few times, I just killed all the electric in here except for one outlet, because I don't want to burn down my house. And I don't trust the electric in this place. The little of it that there is, so. Yeah, that's all pretty exciting stuff. I know a few of you guys have been asking, how do my windows lock? Well, let me show you the locks that were originally on the windows and the ones I got to replace them. So let's go through that. So these are actually, I found 4 varieties, by the way, of different window locks, which is why I'm replacing them. This is one of the, I guess nicer styles. There's 2 different types that look like this, but this one's actually pretty ornate. It's got some little engravings or carvings or casting marks on it. It's got some, I don't know, little leaves, I guess. I would say this is kind of Eastlakey a little bit. But this is the only one I found like this on the second floor anyways. There's some little, I don't know, they're not locks like this, but there's some little bits here and there in the basement that have more, I don't know, I guess elegant markings like this on them. But most everything in the house is just these kind of typical brass ones. But this one being here at all leads me to believe that things in here used to be more ornate than they are today. So this is what I got to replace them. As you can see, it's quite a bit ornate. It is a reproduction, which helps because I can make them all match at the end of the day, because I can buy these new whenever I need them. Essentially how this works is this swings over, the little arm grabs it, and then it actually rotates back and pulls it shut. So essentially it's pulling the two sashes together. So let me show you that in practice, because I've already got one on one of the windows. So Kim's gonna show you guys exactly how these locks work after she closes the window. So window's closed. Let's get in here on the lock. So here's the lock on top of the two sashes. You'll see, she swings it around, it grabs, and it pulls the two shut. So you can see that the gap here closed. It's because it's pulling these two sashes shut, making a weather-tight seal. So, and then open it back up, do it in reverse, and you can open the window up. So there you go. Now on to this week's project. I am again working on a window. I have actually been working on it kind of here and there all week. The reason I'm not doing the demo like I said I was is the plumber's a little bit behind, so I had a little bit of free time, and I'm really trying to get this one room sealed up with windows, because if I can get this one room sealed up, I don't have any more air leaks in this room, then I feel comfortable running a little AC only while I'm here, just because it gets really hot, really humid in St. Louis. We are a southern city in the summer and a northern city in the winter. We get kind of the worst of both worlds, a little bit of snow and a lot of humid, hot summers. So it gets kind of tough here. The thing is also, guys, with this whole demo thing, once I'm demoing things out, to have one room that's cold to come up to relax in, because when you're ripping down plaster and you're sweating, everything sticks to you. So just have one room where I can come and cool off for a few minutes, get a few breaths, and go back down and get things done would be really ideal. So I'm trying to rush a window through. But of course, the last window in here has been the hardest so far. This window, as you can see, I've ripped the panel out. I've had to rip this almost back to nothing. As you can see, this isn't straight anymore. It's because this is straight, but the wall underneath it isn't straight. Reason being is this building shifted. Essentially, the gutter right above this was clogged for so long, and the water came down these walls on this side of the building, because this is the back. So everything rolls back here and then comes off. So all the water for the entire flat roof runs to this point, and it runs down this wall. And once the gutter was compromised, this got really bad. To the point where right above this window is an arch on the outside, and we had to completely rebuild that arch because it was bulging out and threatening to collapse. So we've done the work to completely stabilize this wall already, but the window has suffered because of it. Now it's not rotten, but what had happened is the window shifted in here. So a lot of the brick itself isn't quite square any longer. So I had to cut this frame in and drop it about an inch on the top and the bottom. So I'm about an inch off. So this entire window will be about an inch shorter than the rest of them. So yeah, it's been a bit of a fun week to try to figure out the puzzle piece that is this window. There are a few missing components here. Like here you can see the weight pocket, and I have the door for this side, but the other side it's missing, so I'll have to build that. Not that big of a deal, but it does take time. As you can see, I've got the outside starting to look good. It definitely needs to be caulked really quickly, but it's starting to look better. From the inside, you won't ever know that this isn't straight, but from the outside, you can totally see that it's about an inch off in one direction. You can see here on the sill, I can actually get my hand in under here. That's because this is lifted up about an inch. So that means the sill here does slope down this way, but I'm gonna caulk really well here and maybe even put a bead of caulk this way so it pushes all the water back this way. If there is one window that I'm okay with being a little, messy, it's this one, because it's at the back. That's my alley, my garage. Sorry if those shots are really hard to see. It's really hard to film windows because it's so bright. it's a nice day to be here and trying to film because the lighting is good, but it's also a really hard day to film windows because the lighting is good. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, this window's been tricky. It's not like the others. Luckily, very little of the wood was rotten, so I had to replace very little pieces. But these are just kind of the complications you run into sometimes. Sometimes things are complicated, or more complicated than they look. And I knew there was something wrong with this window, and also me digging into it, I realized that there's been things wrong with this window in the past, because there were round nails. I haven't seen a round nail in any of the windows yet. They've all been square nails. I found lots of little like bits of insulation here and there, like little bits of what looks like horsehair here and there, where they just kind of try to, you know, stuff things in the gaps and hope that it would work. So it's been an interesting one. But yeah, I won't be completing this window in this video. This will be something that'll be done like Monday or Tuesday. But I am getting closer to it being done, and you know, more demo will happen and things like that. I did also this week talk to an electrician. So we have an electrician probably happening in the next 3 weeks or so, just to wire the back half of the house, so I can get some stable, secure, you know, trustworthy power in this house. So we're gonna get good, not scary electrical in here. And I'll be able to run more things, do more things, you know, not have to take the time to detach extension cords and run it to the next tool I need and things like that. So things are looking up for sure. But yeah, guys, so let me get back to work, and we'll see how far we get along today. So I'll catch you guys after that's all done. All right, ladies and gents, that is my day today. So let me show you what I got done. First off, I know it's a lot easier to see now all the stuff I was talking about. This window, one thing I didn't mention before is this window has this radiator actually in front of it. You can see the pipe here and the pipe there. These radiators are a two-pipe system. So steam comes up one pipe, condenses, and goes back down the other. And so this is the radiator that goes there. I've sort of stripped this front bit, but I need to get it out of here, send it to a sandblasting place so they can take all of that off of white paint off of it. But you can see here also the break problem that I'm having, and that is this mortar is shot, really shot. And that's why these window essentially has dipped down. As I said before, the water would come off the gutter, and this was one of the low points. It would run down this wall, and that's why we have so much messed up funniness going on here. As you can see where I've shimmed this, it's about an inch or so, 3/4 of an inch up from where it was before, and that's simply because that's how much it had dropped. And this whole wall, so I'm letting you guys all know, this whole wall is crooked that way. It's off over about 2 feet, about an inch. So there's not really a lot I can do about that except for rebuild the entire wall, which I'm not doing. So the fix was to raise this corner here, and up here, drop that corner down. So actually the pulley here will look higher up than the other one just because I've dropped that corner down. So it'll be a little weird, but again, like I said, this is, the window behind the radiator. The sashes here will actually be 3/4 of an inch shorter than their counterparts in the rest of the room. But that's the way I've had to kind of structure this to figure it out, because simply put, I can't afford to rebuild the back wall of my house. But the moral of the story here is, guys, clean your gutters. Don't let them get bad when they do. Buildings fall. There are many, many examples in this city, including the building that's right next door to me, where the entire back has fallen out of a building because the gutters go. When the gutters clog, water runs over, it takes the mortar right out of these bricks real super fast. And yeah, you get a runaway effect, and essentially the dominoes fall and the back falls out of these buildings. And that's usually how these buildings end up destroyed. And it's a sad thing. We caught this one in the nick of time, so very, very happy about that. But you see, I've basically just got this primed right now. This is not the finished color. The finished color is more of a, well, it's antique white. It's kind of an almy, creamy color, which you guys already know about. But I got everything primed here. Everything's caulked. This is essentially waterproof now. At least the outside is, which is great. This window is quite the task, so things are not perfectly straight out here, but they're level, so that's the most important thing. I'd rather it, because like I said before, this window is in the back, I would prefer that this were straight from the inside, like looking out, than the outside being straight, because simply put, this is the back, and you don't see very much of this. So it is what it is, guys. Beautiful late night, or beautiful sunset for you guys, so that's pretty cool. So guys, it's been a little bit of a week. I gave myself a bit of a break this week, a little bit, but I've been working really hard, like it happens sometimes. Nothing that was terribly photogenic. I had a decent amount of footage. I kept reviewing it all week, and it just was really slow moving. And I just figured it was easier to just explain to you guys what I had to do to make this window work, as opposed to showing you, 20 minutes of me staring at the problem, trying to figure it out. So let's just give you the explanation. We'll walk away. But it's been a really cool week. The road trip to Kansas City to meet Julian, that was really cool. I was really, really happy about that. It's so cool that, people would just offer things up like that to me. And not only that, I had another lady, I'll put her name below. I don't know it off the top of my head. I just forgot. So I apologize in advance. Who sent me a quick meal card from an old dealership for the stoves. And as you guys know, I have a quick meal stove. And so I'm like, that's really cool. I don't know, that you guys would think to share part of your guys' collections with me, that I am somewhat important or something. I don't know. Like it's really cool. And I don't know how to say thank you enough. Like it's really, yeah, I don't know. I'm amazed about this community that's been growing and really the kindness of strangers, you know, like that's, I don't know. It's awesome. It's really awesome. So, yeah, thank you to, again, everybody who watches these goofy videos and yeah, it's cool. I don't know what I'll have. I guess I'll have to stay. I'm a little tongue-tied, I guess. As always, guys, thank you so much for being here. We'll do some fun stuff next week. Maybe a little bit of tuck pointing because of the brick here. We'll finish up a window. I'll get an AC in here so I won't have to complain about being hot, sticky, and covered in dust. At least the hot and sticky part I can mitigate a little bit with the AC. And yeah, should be a good one. So thank you, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.